big together.
Right.
There's nothing like we did this together and let's go shopping.
But
and
right.
To me, it's more authentic
I
than
agree.
trying to fake it and be like, I'm going to go mortgage my house or get into debt for the next whatever.
It's not her fault you had a shitty job.
Yeah.
I do have a shitty job.
And you got married too young and poor.
I know.
Her fault you're poor. Have you ever done a second marriage, a renewal? Have you done a renewal of vows?
I've done renewals, but I've also done second marriages as well.
I know.
So,
Second marriages was wrong.
Yeah,
but I think renewals are sweet. I think
they're
people
very
should
sweet.
be like every 5 years, 10 years, whatever you want to do, let's do it again, just to say the words and go through it and maybe get another piece of jewelry.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Right.
It's the cutest and sweetest thing.
Katie, you got me. I'm sorry. There is some hypocrisy there. But thanks for paying attention.
Can I address one thing that we didn't address in there? Is that the second part of that question about Instagram and the showiness on social media? I have noticed there is an inverse relationship. So, and maybe this is what your rant was about. I haven't listened to every one of your shows, but obviously,
the more they tell me it's great, the less I believe it.
Exactly. Right. It's like the law of social media.
Right.
That if people are trying to show you how wonderful it is, that means things are shitty at home, right?
Oh, I couldn't agree more.
People say to me, who do you date? And I go, somebody who would not give a shit about social media.
My wife doesn't have anything. Zero. None.
Good.
It never has, never will.
Good for her.
Well, see, I actually, I
good.
lived around the world. So a lot of the people that I am on Facebook or Instagram with, they're people that I've connected with over the years because I'd lived somewhere for 2 years.
I'm not disputing the value of social media. I'm saying that you don't need to tell us every day how awesome your husband is.
Right, or the dirt
it
when all of a sudden,
or
even when there's a divorce.
Same way, Mother's Day, Father's Day, I feel it's competitive. Like my dad is the best.
Right? No, I agree.
I think it's very
I totally agree with you. My husband is the best. This is what he did.
All right.
Yeah, we got a lot of high fives going.
Next one. I know most of your audience is single, which I was back when I first discovered this podcast, but I am not anymore. I am now married for 3 months as of the time I am writing this. Honestly, I am miserable.
Oh, no.
We had a huge wedding, an amazing honeymoon, and then almost as soon as it was over, she changed. Like a totally different person in every possible way. I have brought this up to her. Her friends noticed and brought this up to her. How long do I give this before I realize I simply am not married to the same woman I fell in love with? Patient outside of Pittsburgh is how he signed his email.
Divorce. Next question.
Yeah, I was going to say, get out before 6 months.
Okay, here's my take on this. I don't agree with that at all. I think, first, I think what she could be going through is a bit of a post-party depression. I believe that there was such a build-up, and a lot of women look at I want to get to my wedding day, and there's an excitement in the thing, and that somehow after all of that you go through, it's such a come down off of that, and you've waited 10, 20, 30 years for this. I don't think 3 months is enough time to judge this personality change. I think it's like anything else.
Did it say how long they were dating or engaged?
Well, not long, because, it couldn't be more than 6 years, because this podcast is 6 years old. He was listening when he was single. It can't be that long.
Okay.
Yeah, but even her own posse is like, all right, wait a second.
There's something gotten
She's
into her.
changed.
I don't think this is one of the cases where she's like, I married him, fuck it, I don't care, and I'm just going to, no offense to anybody who does this, sit around in sweatpants and eat food and not give a shit about my husband. My quick analysis of this is I think that it's a mental, just like having the baby. I was depressed after the Giants won the Super Bowl, because it was such a journey, and then after I couldn't capture that. Once the ticker tape stopped falling in New York City, I was legitimately depressed for 2 months, which is very sad.
Right, but not for 3 months. But not for 3 months, right? You're depressed. You pulled yourself out of that depression.
I think 3 months is too short of time to judge.
Okay, so I was being a bit flippant with the comment about divorce. It only in that, you want to make sure there isn't some mental issue going on or some serious depression or something. Mm-hmm. But I do know someone who experienced this exact same thing. He hung on for several years.
Yeah.
And that, to me, is the warning signs that their sirens are going off. You're better to
I agree.
Run.
There's also
I know a girl who went through the same thing.
There's a really good chance that she is like, this is not, doesn't feel the way I thought it was going to be.
And that
I
could
don't
be.
love you anymore. I hope
but they have to come to terms.
Is
she pregnant?
No, I don't know.
Okay, I'm like, are we adding a child to this?
I know some people who, once they got married, I know a girl this happened to. She got married. 3 weeks later, her husband said, "Listen, I'm going to be honest with you. I think I made a terrible mistake. I should have told you this before the wedding. I don't feel this way, and I figure I'd let you know now. Her father sued that guy for the cost of the wedding because he said it was fraud.
Oh, my. Did he win?
I don't
feels
remember.
Like a bait and switch
That's
a little bit
up.
here, too.
Well, I don't know. This one is tricky. I don't think we have enough information. I think 3 months is too short. I think 6 months is like... And you have brought it up to her. I'm curious, how did you bring it up to her? Because some people could be defensive about it. Some people be like, "What? Like, if you're bringing it up, like, what's wrong with you?" Nobody wants to hear that either. I think this is too soon to
I agree,
say.
but I said get out before 6 months. I think because then you can still, depending on the state, you can still annul it.
We're not talking about the legalities. We're talking about his heart here. What do you think?
I know, but
some people just change their minds, or some people get depressed, or maybe he didn't know her long enough to know that this is her mood patterns.
I think this person knows deep down it's not going to work. That's why they wrote this.
Her friends noticed too, and maybe her friends just said, "This, you don't know this about her." Yeah.
Well, and if the friends—that's the biggest thing. A girl's inner circle, is everything. And if the fact that they know and they've noticed the change in her, it's a little that's very concerned. Yes, I would ask them too.
I would say, "What do you think I should do? Do you think this is the way this is going to be, or have you seen her go through this kind of
right?
thing
Will
before?
she change? Will things come back?"
I mean, the prudent thing to do is to try to see some.
Yeah. Well, we're just coming off the very last episode of the Great Love Debate that I did, talked about pulling the parachute on relationships too quickly, and you have to fight through them and stick through them. Did you listen to that?
I did. I listened to it on the way here, as a matter of fact.
It made a lot. We got more good feedback on that podcast, and more people listened to it than anything, because it was a little bit hopeful. I'm still
there
hopeful
is hope,
on this.
you want hope in relationships.
I want him to explore every possibility in this as quickly as he can to get as much information on her and is this a normal?
I agree with you there.
Don't give it 4 years. Give it a little more time.
6 months. That's why I was like 6 months.
And again, there's a good question you asked, Chris. How long were they together? Maybe he didn't know her that well.
Yeah, maybe they rushed into it,
and
maybe they're young, and who knows? Maybe
most of the time he's been listening to this podcast. Apparently, he was single, so this can't be that long.
Yeah.
So we'll get back to the last few listener letters. We got to take a quick break because we got to pay the bills around here, so we can buy big engagement rings, and we will be back
very big
right after this. And we are back at Comida, which means food. I'm here with Chris Michael A. from 3 Questions, 3 Drinks, and I am here with Diane DeMonk from Blonde and Ordained Podcast. Listen to their podcast. We'll let them plug those at the end here. But back to the mailbag here for the listener letters. Okay, this is a little bit of a long one. So
these are fun.
Hi, guys. Hopefully you will respond to this. I started dating a girl who works at a bank near my office. She is absolutely amazing. We get along great. She's as fun as anyone I have ever met. Absolutely gorgeous, smart, sophisticated, everything you could want. Recently, she told me that after college, she had gone to L.A. to try and be an actress, and she said she had a bit of success, but that she hated the business, and after a year or two, came back to Atlanta, where we both live now. I was curious, so I Googled her and didn't find anything under her name, even though she said she did 7 films.
Mm-hmm.
I casually asked the name. I casually asked the name of one of those films. I won't mention the name of it because I don't want your whole audience Googling her. She said it was kind of a horror B-movie kind of things, but trust me, it was more of a late-night Skinamax movie. And the reason I couldn't find her was because she used a stage name. She says she doesn't like to talk about it because it wasn't a great experience for her, but I obviously got curious, and let's just say she was really naked and having a lot of sex on screen. I know it's not real, but I can't unsee it, and I don't want to hold it against her, but it kind of freaked me out, and she can tell I've been distant ever since. It really did change how I feel about her, even though I didn't want to. Any advice?
Wow.
Amar in Atlanta.
Amar. Oh, man.
Well, first of all, okay.
Amar.
Well, he's the one that he Googled her.
I don't feel for him.
He Googled her. He wanted to investigate.
Nobody's a virgin. She went to L.A. She was acting.
Well, and it sounds like Cinemax, so it wasn't like hardcore porn.
Well, we're not sure.
I don't care.
And if it was,
she was on. She told you about it. She didn't hide it from you.
That's true too.
She was open. It was a part of her life. Like if anybody went back to anybody's life and saw a movie of whatever you were doing.
Oh my goodness!
Right.
Yes.
You shouldn't hold that against her. Good for her. I know a lot of girls like this. I know a lot of girls who are either actresses in L.A. or didn't, and early on they had to take their top off or more off in movies. part of the biz. It's a shitty biz. Good for her getting out of there. I'm totally on her side. Get over it. It means she's hot, Amar.
Yeah, but no, she's with you. She's with you, Amar.
And you already said she was smart, sophisticated, everything she wants, gorgeous, good.
But it's almost like he's looking for something to be like, oh,
Chris,
you know what? She's not so great.
No, I wouldn't dump her at all.
No, because obviously she's really good at sex.
I just think this poor guy is like torn up about this, but I feel like the girl has obviously been through the ringer, and I think it's an opportunity for them to connect. I think that he's having a hard time with like envisioning whatever she went through. He sounds like he's a jealous type.
Yeah, but you don't think Amar was fucking somebody else before he met her? I mean, just because it wasn't filmed.
On-screen moves are better or different than what happens with him, and if so, that was the character, Amar.
Yeah,
maybe
he's
she's
just
not
jealous.
like that, and that was in the script. So
right?
You're gonna have to get
come
over
on.
it. Like acting is acting.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Come on. Like, do you think
what
she
was
really?
That?
I can do better.
Okay. I mean, and so that was a part of her life. A lot of us had shitty parts of our lives. I wouldn't want to be judged on it. I wouldn't want her. I'm like.
I agree. We all have had our shit shows.
To me, is like the opportunity where it's like, first of all, he needs to have a little bit of I don't know what the word is, but he
balls.
But he could connect with her, and I'm sure this was it sounds like maybe a traumatic or difficult time in her life, and he could be understanding, and they could really like deepen the relationship. And if he could just get over his
small penis issues right now.
Well, I know, but good for him. She told him the story. He didn't just Google and discover it and been like, oh my God, and she never told him. She did tell him.
She did.
Yeah. You know, she didn't. I don't think she hid the stage name.
But she also was. He obviously found it, and so, or he asked her.
He should have asked her more questions versus
clear
just Googling. He was sneaky. I'm not on his side at all. I'm on her side.
I am too.
I don't appreciate that.
Well, he's the one asking, and I think he needs to grow up a little bit and be a little less insecure and use this as an opportunity to really understand who she is and what she's about. And like,
yeah, you're gonna if you spend more time with her, doing more things, clothed, I think you're going to eventually start to picture her in other ways. Nobody wants to be pictured or thought of it all the time about the way you acted on your worst day or 20 years ago or anything like that.
Right.
You're going to have to either give yourself some time to get over it, but you judging her about it is fucked up.
Well, it is, because we don't know what Amara's done. Who knows? Amara could have been in an orgy, right? He could have done something inappropriate.
Who knows?
So here's the thing. I want to say inappropriate because what she did wasn't inappropriate. She was living her life, trying to pursue a career. But the thing is, what he has done in his past hasn't been filmed. And I don't think it's fair.
Amar,
There's no footage.
Think about you. You want to be judged on something that you filmed?
Well, okay, so hold on. I'm trying to be sympathetic to my man Amar right here because
we're all kind of like
so hold on.
Amar.
Like, again, I'm just trying to put myself in his shoes. He clearly is in puppy love with this girl.
Yes,
he has the way he describes her.
Right.
She's beautiful. She's gorgeous. He's got this crush on her.
Right.
Puppy love, and it's lust. It's not okay. And so what he's envisioning is other guys that might be more that in his mind are more than him, and he can't handle it.
Correct.
That's the issue.
I think he saw a picture of her with somebody who's in a movie, Studley, and he's now insecure. That's a totally good read. I think I agree with you. So Amar, judge yourself on this and judge your actions. You do not judge her and do hold it against her. Think about she's with you.
Right.
She chose you in this moment, at least short term. You're going to have to
man up. Man up.
And be that guy on screen.
But I think it's an opportunity.
Agree.
It's an opportunity for them to him to take it to the next level and actually connect on a level that's far deeper than what seems like infatuation and surface level.
Well, that's it.
And she works at the bank, which is one thing, but she also had this secret creative side to her. I think it's a wonderful combo platter.
I mean,
I think that's a great girl.
They could have a really good sex life too. It would be very fun.
He said she's fun, she's smart, good for her. I mean, good for her. And Amar, give her a break and give it some time.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Next one. I know you aren't the most PC bunch at the GLD, but there are now guys online who are saying they identify as 6'2". quote unquote.
Oh, Jesus.
It made me laugh